Yo guys, it's your boy here, Cameron, Yellow Teeth Brown. Every single time I've edited one of these videos in which I've recorded myself obviously standing up, I've noticed how yellow my teeth look, and that's not actually because they're yellow, believe it or not. That's because my light is yellow, so that's why my face is yellow. Also, I'm not of North Korean descent. Am I allowed to say that? No, I'm not. Crap. I was joking, guys. That was a joke, by the way. But yeah, pretty much because I've got like a yellow light lamp, whatever the flip you want to call it, it pretty much makes my teeth look yellow, and that's something that I don't like. If you're someone who understands how colours work, you will agree with me. If you're someone who just wants to bully me, you'll be like, oh, that's just an excuse for you having terrible teeth. It's better than last video, let's face it. Last video that I recorded standing up, I looked like I ran out of money for electricity, okay? So at least there's an improvement. I just moved my desk light here. I'm actually going to be investing in some proper lighting, so yeah, hopefully that'll turn out great. Today, I'm a little bit angry, not gonna lie. And that's because of a news story that I actually saw on BBC News recently. And it talks about tax evasion. And oh my god, does this annoy me. As someone who likes money and as someone who understands the economy, it really angers me. And I want to, talk to you guys about how shady and just crap the things that these companies and people are doing just to evade tax, and it genuinely sucks. And I also want to talk about some of the negatives and some of the problems with these individuals slash businesses not paying tax. And I know you may be going, Cameron, I'm not doing flipping business studies or economics at A-level or GCSE. Why am I listening to you? Because I am an entertaining content creator and you want to, that's why. No, it isn't, okay? Now, I want to just submit a little disclaimer, okay? That there is a chance, this is not the size of my dick, by the way, how flipping dare you? There is a small chance that I will get some information or facts incorrect. If I do, I sincerely apologize. Please just leave a comment, try and correct me if there's anything that I've kind of screwed up on. And I'm not talking about my goddamn English, okay? That's clearly broken. Like, you've probably already judged that by now. But, I mean, as in, I'm going to be talking about tax and stuff, so if there's anything that I said that's maybe wrong, just tell me in the comments. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. If you do, be sure to leave me a like, leave me a comment, and also subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into this amazing video. Ha 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 ha. There's this organisation, Paradise Papers. What they do is they literally just expose companies and individuals who are evading tax. They also do a lot of other crap, but that's not relevant to what we're talking about in today's video. And one of the companies exposed was Apple. And oh my flipping god, I hate Apple. Like, for the past, I think, 5 years in which they've been at their peak of their popularity, I've hated their company. And there's many reasons why I've never liked Apple. The main reason why is because their business is literally just based on their image, their brand image, which kind of makes sense, I suppose. But people buy an Apple phone not because of the specs, not because of the quality of the product, but instead just because of the brand and because that's what's cool. Apple know that, they obviously do. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to take advantage of it. So if you actually look at the specifications of an iPhone 7, for example, and then compare them to a S6, which is what I'm recording on right now, it's pretty obvious to see that the S6 is way better and also a lot cheaper. But the thing you gotta realize is the iPhone 7 is more successful, I believe, or at least close to the success of the S6. They know everyone trusts them. If you buy the iPhone 8, you expect, oh, it's Apple, they make good phones. You expect it to be a good phone. They know that their customers have trust within their item. Samsung is different. If a normal person buys a Samsung phone, they're not going to instantly go, oh my god, it better be a flipping great phone, it's made by my best friend's Samsung, okay? Why would it not be good? No one's like that, okay? People are like that to Apple, but not to Samsung. And because of that, Samsung actually have to make really good phones to be accepted. Apple don't. They can kind of get away with anything. They removed the audio jack on the iPhone 7, which was stupid. It was a obvious design flaw of the phone, and they pretty much had to remove the audio jack because the phone was poorly designed. And because the phone was poorly designed, that shows that Apple is actually a bad company and they make bad phones. If they can't design a simple phone, like, for example, there is always errors. Like, for example, there was one Samsung phone that blew up every goddamn 10 minutes or something. Shut up, we don't have to bring that into the equation. The thing is with Apple is the fact that they failed at their design of the iPhone 7, which was the previous one, you got to remember. It shows that they make mistakes. yet no one cares about them. You know, there was a little bit of a uproar regarding the lack of audio jack, but the iPhone 7 did amazing anyway. So people kind of have this stupid attitude towards Apple. Literally, Apple is the best. I love their logo. Give me an Apple phone. That's literally what most people are like. And that sucks. It really does. It doesn't make any sense. So when this, when these Paradise Papers came out and they proved that Apple has actually been evading a lot of their tax, people still don't care. And that's why I'm actually making this video, to hopefully make some of you guys care. So Apple is a massive company. It is flipping massive. And this is just an image of how much money they put in different countries. Is what I say. I didn't know that, Apple, they make 5 times more money in Saudi Arabia in comparison to America. But maybe that's true. Maybe in Saudi Arabia, the average person likes to have 20 goddamn Apple phones. They don't. What a lot of companies do, including Apple, is they pretty much move their money just so they have to pay less tax. Because the idea of tax is very simple to understand. You sell in a country, you operate in a country, and you pay your tax. And that's how it's worked for hundreds of years. Flipping 100 years ago, someone owns a shop, they make, let's say, 500 grand in today's money. Let's say 20% of that's tax, corporate tax. That means that 20% of that 500 grand goes to the government. Very easy to understand, 100 grand to the government, done. Okay? It's simple to understand. Every single company, every single shop has to follow that tax law, and because of that, it doesn't damage the competition. It does increase the cost of the products, which kind of sucks, I suppose, but it's good because it allows there not to be unfair competitorship. It also allows the country to actually operate, because if a country is getting a lot of money in tax revenue, the country won't have to borrow money, and thus it won't have a deficit. And because it doesn't have to borrow money, it means that the economy won't be in debt, and because the economy isn't in debt, the economy will grow and it'll be stronger because it's more stable. Believe it or not, in the UK, we have a deficit. I don't know exactly what the deficit is, but it's quite a bit of money, and it has been dropping quite a bit recently, and a deficit is how much money the government borrows pretty much for the country. But the reason why we have a deficit is because the government can't afford to keep operating its services. It's having to borrow money, and it is borrowing less money, which is good. But at the end of it, it's still borrowing money. When you have companies like Apple, who should pay a crap ton of tax in this country, especially like the UK, US, because US has a very similar problem with the deficit. What actually happens is you have Apple here with tons and tons of money going, oh, we know that we operate in your country, but we're not making tax because we're just going to put all the money in Jersey. And that's not because of there's no tax relief there. What are you talking about? We just love Jersey, Yeah, Jersey, that tiny goddamn island. Like, no one cares about flipping Jersey, but they put tons of their money there just so it doesn't get taxed as much. And what Apple have done for quite a while is they've based their company in Ireland. And that's not because they like Ireland. I mean, Ireland is just fields. Why would they care? But the reason why they care about Ireland is because of the low tax rate. I was talking about how, like, for example, a shop 100 years ago would pay their tax easy peasy lemon squeezy. They would sell their products, they would sell everything in the UK. It was easy to understand. Nowadays, there's the internet, there's shipping, there's imports, there's exports. It's very hard to collect tax revenue because there's just so many factors. Like, for example, if Apple sells, I don't know, flipping 50 million iPhones in America, it would make sense that the 50 million iPhones that have been purchased, all of them, they pay 20% tax or whatever. No, that doesn't make sense, apparently, because then you've got to realise that they were actually made in China, which means it's using China's resources, it's using China's economy. So thus, some, tax needs to be paid to China. Oh, but then it flown over in a plane over some countries, so they've got to pay tax to the countries that it flew over because of the noise pollution. And I know that sounds daft, but that's actually a real thing, believe it or not. It's so stupid. Tax, when it comes to aviation, it gets so confusing. And this is the problem with tax. It's really confusing. So some companies can just get away with it because no one, the tax system is so confusing that no one cares because they can't understand it. And I think that's how it's been made deliberately. I think it's kind of been manipulated to be as impossible to understand as possible. That makes sense. I don't know if this video is too complicated for you guys. I don't know if this video is just too dumb either. But I hope you guys are enjoying it. But anyway, not just Apple was caught with tax issues. Like, for example, as I mentioned before, what Apple were doing is they were putting a lot of their money that they made off their products in the UK, US, for a bit India, China, where they sell most of their products. They were putting their money into countries that have extremely low tax rates. Like, for example, Japan has quite a low tax rate. Ireland has a very low tax rate. I think it's like 10%. 10% corporate tax, as opposed to the 20-something% UK taxes, and then the 30-something% that Americans taxes. This isn't even income tax. I think it's kind of ironic how most people pay more income tax in percentage than businesses. What they did is they invested all this money, they moved it away just so they didn't have to pay that much tax. And the reason why it sucks is because the government is losing a lot of money. And you may be going, oh, I don't care if the government's losing loads of money. Theresa May, she doesn't need a new car. Who cares? But the problem we have in this country is we have massive companies that are paying such little tax that they're actually just creating a monopoly. And a monopoly is simply a business that can outcompete goddamn everything. And because it can outcompete goddamn everything, no one tries to compete it. So you have Apple here selling phones at somewhat cheap prices, but they can't be, you know, no one can compete with them except for like Samsung and some other big companies. Very few small companies, you know, can compete with them. And it's the same with shops. You know, Amazon is the biggest example of tax evasion. I really don't like to say this about Amazon because I really do love Amazon, but they do tax evade very regularly. But pretty much they base all their operations in Luxembourg. Well, that's what they used to do. I think they've had to change it recently because of the EU getting triggered, okay? The thing is with Amazon is they were selling items without paying anywhere near as much tax. So they could sell items even cheaper and they could buy more advertisements because they're not, you know, they're not paying tax. So they have more money for promotion. They have more money for their courier services. And because they can make their company operate at such a cheaper cost, they outcompete, let's say, eBay, who pay a lot more of their taxes. And it outcompetes companies that are like Amazon that are based in the UK that actually pay their tax. I know that this video was goddamn confusing to understand, and I know that there may be some holes in this video, but the main reason why I'm making a video talking about finance and crap is because I just wanted to see if you guys are actually interested in it. And I'll obviously be able to see that by when I see the actual video's performance. I'll have a little look at the likes, I'll have a little look at the comments and also the views. And if all that, you know, goes well and you guys seem to enjoy it, I'll be sure to make another video like this. Believe it or not, I'm not going into that much depth about it. I haven't really brought in any exact statistics. I could do that maybe if this video does well. I might make a part 2 or I might make another video talking about something else in the economy. I know this video may not have been funny, but shut up, it was good, okay? Haha. Hope you guys have a good day. I'll be seeing you guys later. My knee is injured today. Just breaking news, if anyone cares. But I hope you guys have a good day. Leave me a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment and also subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys later. Dabbing out, kids.